Have you ever heard a strange frequency that no one else seems to notice? A soft ringing, a sharp tone, or a subtle vibration in the silence that feels as if it is calling directly to you? If you have, do not dismiss it. It is not random, not anxiety, not tinnitus, and not your imagination. It is the first pulse of awakening. And if your palm carries the M mark, the crescent moon, or especially both, then this sound is more than a passing sensation. It is your inner code beginning to activate. For decades, Dolores Cannon spoke of awakened souls hearing this call before anyone else. Yet there was one hidden truth she never fully revealed. The physical activation marks some souls are born with, symbols that serve as receivers, keys, and spiritual antennas for a new timeline. So, before we go any further, then take a moment and look at your hand with real intention. Trace the lines, search for the M, search for the crescent moon, and notice what stirs inside you when you do. Because if you feel even the slightest pull, the faintest shiver, the quiet shock of recognition, then your awakening may be deeper than you realize. You may be among the rare 1% whose palms carry the dual code. And this is only the beginning. There is a sixth sign, one so rare that even Dolores never documented it. A sign that appears only in those who carry both marks. And once it begins, there is no returning to the old timeline. We're going to explore that very soon. But before we do, you need to understand why this frequency is calling to you at all, and why your soul may have been marked long before you were ever born. Dolores Cannon devoted more than 40 years to studying the souls who came to Earth with a purpose. Across her work, she uncovered recurring patterns, forgotten memories, voices that seemed to rise from beyond time, and one truth that appeared again and again. Awakened souls always hear the call before they fully understand it. Yet there is a deeper layer almost no one speaks about, something only whispered about in the spaces between her teachings. Dolores never spoke of palm codes. She never described the rare souls born with activation symbols etched into their hands, physical marks that function like spiritual antennas. Oh, because these souls are not simply awakened, they are wired differently. If your palm carries the M, what could be called the messenger line, then your soul came carrying memory, heightened intuition, and an ancient ability to sense what is real and what is illusion. If your palm carries the crescent moon, what ancient mystics saw as the lunar gate, then your soul came with transition, with the capacity to feel shifts in timelines before they become visible. But if you carry both the M and the crescent moon, then you do not belong to the same group as the souls Dolores described most often. You belong to a rarity so profound that even her thousands of regressions could not fully define it. Dolores spoke of 3 waves of volunteers, but what remained unnamed was this hidden fourth group, the marked ones. Souls who did not simply volunteer, but arrived already coded, marked before birth, marked for a mission, marked so they would never fully forget why they came. That is why the frequency reaches you so deeply. That is why synchronicities surround you. That is why the old world can begin to feel as though it is dissolving around you. Your symbols are not decorative, they are receivers. They are keys. They are gates of activation. And in a moment, we will uncover the first 5 signs that your M and moon code has already begun turning on. But before we do, you need to understand one final truth. Once this code begins to activate, it does not stop. Now that you understand why the frequency is calling you, we can step into the part your soul has been waiting for. The first 5 signs that your M and moon code has already begun to awaken. These are not random experiences, and they are not psychological symptoms or meaningless coincidences. They are activation markers. The more deeply these symbols are imprinted within you, the more intensely these signs begin to appear. First, you no longer experience silence as empty. You feel it vibrating. You hear a ringing no one else seems to notice, a tone in the right ear, a sudden wave of sound that vanishes the moment you focus on it. This is not tinnitus. It is the first pulse of the code, the moment your palm symbols begin responding to the higher frequency of the new timeline. The M receives it, the crescent moon amplifies it. Together, and they open a doorway. And this is only the beginning. Then time itself begins to shift. Hours disappear. Days feel shorter. Sometimes the night passes like 5 minutes. Sometimes a memory feels as if it happened yesterday and 10 years ago at once. Dolores described this as a collapse in time, what others call the timeline shift phase. As your code awakens, your consciousness begins to loosen from linear time and move partially into a new frequency. After that, the third sign often arrives. You can be surrounded by people and still feel profoundly alone. You speak, yet no one seems to hear the meaning beneath your words. You feel as though you were living in a different world, and in many ways, you are. Souls marked with both symbols naturally enter a phase of separation. It's a quiet pulling away from everything that no longer matches their vibration. This is not punishment, it is preparation. And during this phase, synchronicities begin to multiply with startling force. Numbers repeat, messages echo, thoughts manifest more quickly. People appear the moment they cross your mind. These are not just angel numbers, they are confirmations of the code, signs that your inner receivers are aligning with your new timeline. But the final sign reaches even deeper. Suddenly you feel drawn to Egypt, Atlantis, ancient symbols, lost civilizations, moon temples, and mystical patterns you have never studied, yet somehow seem to remember. Your soul begins recalling what your mind has never learned. This is the moment the code stops whispering and truly begins to wake you. And yet, as powerful as these 5 signs may be, they are only the beginning for those who are truly awakened. There is a 6th sign, one so rare and so intense that even Dolores' canon never documented it. It is a sign experienced only by the 1% who carry both the M and the crescent moon, and when it appears, your timeline is never the same again. You have already felt the frequency. You have already watched time bend, walked through sacred isolation, seen the repeating numbers, and awakened memories that do not seem to belong to this lifetime. But if you carry both the M and the crescent moon, there is one more sign, a sign so rare and so irreversible that once it begins, nothing in your life will ever feel the same again. It is called timeline divergence. And if you are here, truly present, listening to these words with that strange feeling of recognition rising in your chest, you may already be living inside it. It begins as the sense that you are existing in 2 worlds at once. Outwardly, you continue your normal routines, but inwardly, something feels completely out of sync with the people and reality around you. Conversations begin to feel hollow. Old desires lose their meaning. The world you once cared about starts to look distant, almost blurred, as though your soul is standing on the threshold between 2 realities. The old timeline and the new one, that only the awakened 1% can sense. In daily life, timeline divergence reveals itself in unmistakable ways. Déjà vu becomes overwhelming, not the ordinary kind, but the kind that makes your soul whisper, "I have been here before," though not in this exact way. If you begin sensing events before they happen, not as prediction, but as vibrational recognition, a knowing that arrives without evidence, your dreams become messages. You start seeing places you have never visited, symbols you have never studied, faces you have never met, and yet all of them feel familiar. You feel detached from chaos. Events that should frighten you no longer do, and drama that once would have consumed your attention loses its grip. It is as if your soul has stepped outside the collective timeline and is observing it from a higher level. And beneath all of this, you feel something pulling you forward, not toward danger, but toward purpose, clarity, and the place your spirit was always meant to reach. This is the truth few people ever hear. Timeline divergence happens only to the 1% of souls whose palms carry both symbols. The M opens the memory, the crescent moon opens the portal. Together, they generate a frequency strong enough to begin pulling your consciousness out of the old world, long before the rest of humanity rises into awareness. That is why you feel different. That is why the world no longer fits. That is why nothing ordinary satisfies you anymore. You are not losing yourself. You are leaving the timeline that was never meant to contain who you truly are. But beneath this shift is an even deeper reason, something older than this lifetime, older than your memories, older even than Earth itself. And to understand that, you must begin to uncover the mission that only dual-code souls were sent here to carry. Before we move into that next revelation, take a moment to notice what stirred inside you while listening. Did any part of this feel familiar? Did it awaken a truth you have been carrying in silence? If this message resonated with you, leave a like to support this journey. Share your thoughts in the comments, or simply type a specific sentence. Sometimes the smallest act of recognition is the first step in fully accepting what your soul has always known. And that is what we are about to uncover next. There comes a moment in every awakening when simply knowing is no longer enough. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet pressure in your chest, that steady insistence in your mind, that undeniable sense that something deep within you is waiting to be awakened. Every cycle you have lived, every lifetime you have passed through, every instinct you have carried has been leading you toward this moment. The symbols in your palm were never passive marks. They were meant to awaken in stages. The frequency was the whisper. The timeline divergence was the pull. But this is the turning point. Because activation does not happen on its own. It responds to consciousness. It responds to intention. It responds to remembrance. And the ritual you are about to perform is not complicated. It is ancient, older than language, older than history, older even than the earth beneath your feet. All it asks of you is your hand and your breath. Bring your attention to your palm, not merely with your eyes, but with your awareness. Feel the lines, feel the warmth, feel the quiet pulse beneath your skin, the one you may never have noticed until your awakening began. Now, place 2 fingers gently over the point where your M and crescent moon rest closest to one another. There is always a point of intersection, even when the marks do not physically touch. This is the receiving point, the place where the code enters your field. Close your eyes. Take 1 slow breath in and feel the air traveling all the way down into your hand. Then, exhale softly, as though you are releasing an old version of yourself. Take a second breath in, and this time imagine the light rising from your palm, moving through your arm and into your chest. A third breath, and allow that light to rise into your mind, settling behind your forehead like a small inner sun. Then, in silence, without speaking aloud, whisper the truth your soul already knows. I accept the path of the 1%. I accept the code. I remember who I am. If your hand grows warm, if it tingles, if an emotional wave suddenly moves through you, if an image, a memory, or even a color flashes within you, know that it is not an accident. It is the code responding. This ritual was never meant for everyone, not even for every awakened soul. It was meant only for those who were marked long before birth, the ones whose timelines were chosen to rise first. And now that your code has been touched, now that your symbols have been acknowledged, only one question remains. What happens after the activation, and what will it mean for the rest of your life? There is something you need to hear now, something your soul may have been waiting lifetimes to remember. Once the code awakens, once the symbols in your hand begin to respond, once the frequency starts weaving itself through your days and nights, there is no true return to the world you once lived in. Not because anything has been taken from you, but because you have finally stepped into the timeline that was always meant to be yours. You may try to go back. Every awakened soul does at some point. You may try to fit again into old conversations, old routines, old identities. You may try to pretend the shift is not happening. You may try to silence the pull within you, but it will no longer fit. It will feel too narrow, too small, as if you are trying to force your soul back into a form it has already outgrown. And that discomfort, that restlessness, that ache you cannot fully explain, is the prophecy unfolding within you. Souls like yours do not awaken in order to return. They awaken in order to rise. The M remembers the path. The crescent moon reveals it. Together, they begin to redirect your life in ways you can feel long before you can fully understand them. You may have already noticed certain people quietly drifting from your life, as though fate itself moved them aside. You may have seen doors close with no clear reason. You may have watched old cycles fall apart without warning. These are not losses, they are clearings. The universe does not remove what is truly meant to remain. It removes what cannot continue with you. The timeline you are entering, the one your code is leading you toward, cannot carry the weight of who you used to be. It can only hold who you are becoming. And here is a truth very few people ever hear in this lifetime. The moment both symbols activate, your soul crosses a vibrational threshold that the rest of humanity will not reach at the same time. You begin walking ahead, not from superiority, but from responsibility. You become part of the first wave of consciousness, stepping into the new timeline before the collective fully rises. That is why you feel faster than the world around you. That is why it can feel as though you are already living in a future no one else can yet see. Your life has not been falling apart. It has been falling into place, Every intuition, every rupture, every ending, every awakening, every moment you felt different has been preparing you for this revelation. You are not behind, you are not lost, you are not late. You are early, you are chosen, you are marked, you are activated. And if these words are stirring something inside you, if your palm feels warm, if your chest feels heavy, if your soul feels as though it is remembering, then type, "I accept my code" in the comments. Because your next chapter does not begin when you hear the prophecy. It begins the moment you claim it. There is a moment after every awakening when everything becomes quiet. Not silent, but deeply quiet. Not the kind of quiet you hear with your ears, but the kind that settles into your bones, where the noise of the old world can no longer reach you, and the whispers of the new one begin to rise. If you are feeling that now, that stillness, that weightlessness, that strange calm resting beneath your ribs, know that it is not coincidence. It is not a phase, and it is not merely a passing mood. It is the echo of remembrance, the moment when the soul finally stops running and begins to return, returning to itself, returning to memory, returning to the sacred blueprint it carried before it ever entered a human body. Every awakened soul passes through this moment. But those marked with both symbols, the M and the crescent moon, I feel it in a way that is deeper, heavier, and older. That is because your awakening did not begin in this lifetime. It began long before you arrived here. It lives in the places you dream of without understanding, in the symbols you are drawn to without ever being taught, in the people you recognize without ever having met, and in the emotions you carry without a clear story. Deep down, you have always known this. You have always felt that something within you did not fully belong to the world around you, that your heart was speaking a different language, that your intuition could see beyond the surface, and that your pain did not belong entirely to this life alone. This echo of remembrance is what draws you toward what is truly meant for you, and gently pulls you away from everything that can no longer contain you. It is why certain people feel like home the moment they appear. It is why certain places feel painfully familiar. It is why certain choices feel undeniably destined. It is why your awakening felt less like discovering something new and more like recognizing something ancient. Because you are not remembering something new. You are remembering something eternal. And before we move into what comes next, take a quiet moment to sit with what just stirred inside you. Did any part of this feel familiar in a way you cannot fully explain? Did it awaken a memory, an emotion, or a truth your soul has been carrying in silence? If this message resonated with you, leave a like so this wisdom can reach the souls who need it most, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Or, if words feel too small right now, simply type a specific sentence. Sometimes the first sign of remembrance is not understanding everything at once, but having the courage to recognize that something deep within you has already begun to respond. And if your heart is beating differently right now, if something deep inside you feels as though it is rising, remembering, and quietly aligning, then let that be your confirmation. What you are feeling is not random, and it is not passing. Your code is not merely activated. It is awakening everything your soul came here to fulfill. So, take a slow breath, place your hand over your heart, and truly feel the meaning behind these words. You are not simply stepping into a new timeline. You are returning to your original one, the path your soul chose long before this life began, the path that has been waiting for you to fully remember it. Every sign, every shift, every moment of discomfort, every strange sense of recognition has been guiding you here. And now, perhaps for the first time, you are ready to receive it, not with fear, but with trust, not with confusion, but with remembrance. If this message spoke to something real within you, leave a comment with the words, a specific quote, so you can honor the truth your soul is beginning to reclaim. And if this journey touched you, please like this video, share it with someone who may need to hear it, and continue with the next video to go even deeper into the path your spirit has been preparing for all along.